Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly and I am so glad you guys are here. How's everybody doing today? I promised my good friend Christy that I would come back and do 3 looks with the Colourpop Smoke and Roses palette. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna do 1 look on one side, 1 on the other, and then I'll take it all off and do 1 final cohesive look, bilateral look. At the end, that'll give us 3 looks with the one palette. Do I think you can get more than 3 looks out of this palette? Yep, I do. But I think this leans definitely more on the pink, light, fresh, pretty, effervescent vibe than maybe some of the others. When you look at this, you cover up that row right here, you have a pastel palette, and that's not usually my first eye gravitating towards things. I look for the deep, dark, rich shades because to me, that's what gives my close-set, mature, hooded eyes a little bit more depth and really kind of brings a little bit more drama. This appealed to me because, well, I mean, I was placing an order for something else. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't have that one. I should do it. So I do that sometimes as I buy things because it's like, oh, I don't already have that one. I don't know why. But I thought this would be a good kind of complementary palette to some of the other ones. I think specifically the Gone Matte palette, which is an all matte palette. This one here has so many shimmers in it that I think you do an all matte lid and then a pop of one from here. Do I love having to go into 2 different palettes to create an eye look? Nope, I don't love that. But it is an option if you did end up picking up an all matte palette and you wanted a pop of something on occasion. I am trying something new today. I got the new Colourpop Party Proof Eye Primer. I've had that on now for a couple minutes. I think it's mostly dried down. It was a little bit weird. It's like a doe foot type applicator, which is fine, but I really felt like I had to kind of express some of this first, and because it's a thicker eye primer, I had to kind of get some of it out and then apply it to my lids in case you struggle with making sure you have enough product to come out just straight out of the wind or out of the wand. That's kind of what I had to do. Okay, none of the other makeup I have on right now is Colourpop. I did pick up the Just a Tint new lip that came out January, I guess. This is called Rose Way. I think it came out with the By Rose palette, but this is the lip, and I thought this might be kind of fun to apply and then have it as a base for the rest of the eyeshadow. So I'm actually just gonna throw a little lip liner on really fast. This lip liner that I'm using right now is a Morphe called Sweetest Tea, and we're just gonna use this Just a Tint. Now, if you guys have been with Colourpop for a while, they used to do a lot of Just a Tints, and it feels like it's kind of been a while. I do like some of their other lippies. I do like Colourpop's lip liner formula. I probably overlined a little bit more than I needed to. But anyway, this is a really beautiful consistency. My lips feel hydrated and nourished, and I like the color. So this is going to be kind of a win. This might actually go in my purse for just kind of like a quick on the go. I need to throw on some lipstick. Let's get into this eyeshadow palette here. I'm going to scoot you guys in. I think we're close enough here. I think it's even going to focus on me. So one of the things I like to do normally with Colourpop eyeshadows is I usually like to go down a column. However, I don't know that these columns are designed specifically with that in mind. Sometimes when I look at Colourpop stuff, I can look at quads too, and you get some of that, but there is so many shimmers in this palette. Half of this palette is shimmer, and that's a little shimmer heavy for me. I don't know that I see a ton of redundant shades. However, like this matte right here and this one right here look really similar, very, very close. This shade right here and this one down here look pretty close. This one seems like it's a little bit more yellow. This one's a little bit more peach, but I kind of wonder, do we really need to have all of the like repeat shades? Not saying they all are, but my eye is drawn to a couple of them. Let's try something really kind of cool toned. I'm gonna start with this matte right here, which is called Best Shot, and I'm gonna use that as kind of transition shade. I think if you are an eyeshadow minimalist, this is probably overkill with the sheer amount of quantity of shades that you have. But that being said, I think that the quality is typical good Colourpop quality. Sometimes they tend to go a little downhill in some of the other formats, but I think they're pretty consistent with these large palette format. It's just sometimes you just don't need all of the shades. And I'm gonna go down to this dark purple down here called Tonight, and you get a lot of kick up with these. I'm gonna put this right down here, kind of slowly build it up a little bit. So if you picked up this palette, what are your thoughts? Are you happy that you got it? Did this become an everyday go-to for you? Price point sure does make it convenient. Sometimes when I apply these and I get so much kick up, I have to kind of go back in and grab the kick up. And while this shade looks so deep and rich and like it's gonna be ridiculous pigmented, I think taking just the little tiniest bit and buffing it in with a fluffy but small brush, I think really can help you kind of control saturation level of it. So if you want something a little bit more sheer, you've got it. So that's getting me the shape that I want. Yeah, I like that shape. I'm gonna drag a little bit more of it, contacts. I'm gonna drag a little bit more of it down here just to kind of keep that line going. Let's grab one of these shimmers. I'm gonna grab this purple one right here. It's a little bit more on the lilac, and it's called Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker is gonna go, that's so pretty. What a great eyeshadow combination. I'm gonna go into the shimmer in this column, this one right here. This is gonna be my inner corner highlight. Just a little bit it up into that pink shimmer that I had. Very pretty, happy with that. Actually, I'm gonna grab the black right here and I'm gonna build up a little bit more of a lash line. Just gives you that smoky, cool toned, pretty, I don't know, I really like it. I'm gonna grab this shade right here. I kind of cleaned off the brush a little bit, but I'm gonna take that. It's almost like a little bit of a warmer pink, but I'm gonna put it down here and kind of just soften up that lower lash line. All right, I'm gonna put some mascara on. All right, you guys, back with look number one. This is my more of a cool toned, a little bit more of a, I don't know, date night kind of a look. I really like the way those colors work together. It's one that I know will work. I think it flatters my eye shape. Okay, so let's do one that's a little bit more on the pink side, shall we? I'm gonna start with this pastel pink over here, and I'm gonna use that up above my crease. It's gonna be kind of a transition shade for me as I start kind of building the depth that I want. That alone for me, all over a lid, is too pale and too pastel, and I feel like it just makes me super lid heavy. So I need to give myself some dimension and some depth. So I'm gonna go into the more of a mauve colored matte in here in the same row, and I'm starting to build it up into my crease. What a beautiful color. That's starting to give me a daytime pink look that I would wear out of the house. I'm gonna actually grab the same shimmer that's in here. I'm gonna put the majority of that on my lid, at least my movable lid. Very, very pretty. Then I'm gonna grab the lightest shade in this column. Inner corner, okay, a little bit of an inner corner. That's very bright and light right now. And it's very pretty, but it's very pastel. So I would not leave well enough alone, of course. I'm gonna grab the same flat brush that I just used. I'm gonna grab this gray color down here, and I'm gonna give my eye just a little bit more definition against the lash line, slightly more graphic, but still kind of light and pretty and daytime appropriate. And because I have these hooded close set eyes, I have to keep that line down a little bit, but we're gonna smoke it up a little bit as well. So I'm gonna grab this kind of plum color right next to it, and that's gonna go right above it, continue the line down, that, and then I need to go one shade lighter than that, and I'm gonna grab this color here. My brush is a little damp, isn't it? Same line here. It's a little thick, a little graphic, but I'm gonna take a blending brush next, and we're gonna make sense of it all. Buffing these together, I'm working it into my crease a little bit more, just for that depth, but it's blending those shades together. It definitely gives me this kind of ombre airbrush look, which I think is actually kind of fun. All right, I do need to add something down below, and I want to keep it in the same family here. I'm gonna go back into this purple right here, kind of in the middle. Just sort of extend this down, and I'm gonna go back into black that I used on the other side. Just gonna deepen up that lash line a little bit. Okay, let me get some mascara on, I'll be right back. Okay guys, there is look number two, a little bit more on the pink side. I did get some transfer in my contacts, and I didn't clean up, patch up any of this down below here. I did add the purple Colourpop eyeliner just to my waterline because I really did want to go a little bit more over the top. I think I would leave well enough alone with just the pastels and maybe a touch of eyeliner and some mascara for just daytime or glasses. And I might go a little bit more over the top with this for a little bit more of a date night. More intense, I guess I would call this more intense. This side I actually think is really flattering and really pretty on me, but this takes it to a whole nother level. So I'm gonna change my battery. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna be right back with my third and final look. Okay guys, back cleaned up. I still have the same eyelid primer on, this one from Colourpop called Party Proof. Don't know how long it'll, don't know what the longevity is, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it today, the rest of the day, and see how this looks. I'm kind of drawn towards some of this section down here. I'm gonna start with this taupe color over here, and this one is called Kickstart. Hopefully we gave that eyelid primer enough time to dry down. I did not go over it with any setting powder this time. Not that I intentionally set it before, it just, I drug my powder brush over the top. You guys know what I'm talking about. I can tell you right now that this shade is very pretty. And if you're doing a no makeup day, I would use that. I would absolutely use this and wear glasses, some mascara. Okay. And while this does lean towards a pastel because it's so soft, I actually really like the shade. I'm gonna try to deepen this up just a little bit with this shade right here. I've got the same brush. It's probably a little bit more than I need to. It's a little bit thicker of a brush. It's called Look at Me, and keeping things a little bit more on the light side. Try not to go overboard like I did last time. I think between this one and there's one in the next row over called Party Time, which is a little bit more warm. I think these are great, like everyday day look that you can feel pretty, put a little color on. It's not just all browns and yet still be completely age appropriate, work appropriate, feel pretty. Isn't that kind of like the goal? If you guys are new here, I am not a makeup artist. I'm just a lady of a certain age, doing the best we can with what we have, and I buy all this stuff with my own money. So if I'm wasting my money, better that I do it than you. I've got the same brush, but I'm gonna go into the darker brown matte in this row called Spun Around, and I'm gonna put a little bit of it right out here. And again, I should be using a smaller brush, but now I've officially dirtied up so many brushes. I'm gonna be cleaning brushes for a while. That's me being lazy. Okay, how pretty is that? Those are 3 mattes. I love the way these look together. And here's the thing, even though this is a rosé pink palette, I'm not getting full-on pink, which makes me super happy because I'm not an overly pink person. I wear more browns than pink, if you know what I mean. I wear more grays and black and navy, just a little bit more traditional than I do like full brown on colors. I have been trying to incorporate more green, like Kelly green and orange into my wardrobe. I've mentioned it in a couple videos now, I'm sure. But wow, how easy and approachable is that? That's really pretty. Some might even say boring. I don't. I say approachable. Gives the impression that I'm competent. I'm gonna use 2 different shimmers here because, you know, I can't leave well enough alone. I'm going in the darkest shimmer and I'm putting it on the outer third to half, just kind of right over the top of that brown. This is again, kind of I almost call it like a smoky quartz. What shade is it called? It's called Twin Flame. I don't know where I'm getting Twin Flame from. This is one, as soon as I mentioned quartz, this is like the pink counterpart to the quartz palette. That little 9-pan. What a great palette that one was. That feels to me like the more budget-friendly version of the Natasha Denona Glam palette, like the Midi Glam. Almost like a taupe shimmer right here called Speechless. And I'm gonna try to keep it to my top lid. Transfers a little bit, but I think I did pretty good on that side at least. In fact, maybe that was a little warmer than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a little cooler, but seeing it on my eye, I actually really do like it, right? I'm glad I ended with this look because this is a completely appropriate look to have on the rest of the day. I need to do like an under eye mask. I'm feeling a little creepy right now. Actually, you know what? I have a whole bunch of skincare devices. I need to actually use them. I think I'm gonna stick with this palette as far as eyeliner goes, just because I want the soft eyeliner, and I'm gonna go into this dark brown right here, and that's gonna give it a little definition and drama without being like a harsh line. And that one's called, again, it's called Spun Around. Oh, you know what? That's really pretty. This shade over here might be the taupe that I was thinking of. We're gonna use that on my inner corner here. Yeah, I think that was the shade I was thinking I was gonna get with that other one. Very light and bright. And I have to clean up some of the darkness and I have to put some mascara on, but I'll be right back. All right, you guys. I am back with the 3rd and final look today with the Smoke and Roses palette from Colourpop, and it is a lovely, lovely palette. When I first look at this and my eye is drawn towards all these pastels, I get a little anxiety, but then I realize that they actually do pack a little bit of a punch. They actually do blend very well, and I'm glad you don't have too many deep, dark shades. They give you just enough. I think that you have the dark brown matte, you have a cool plum color, you've got a gray, you've got a darker like eggplanty kind of purpley color, and you've got a black in here. And I think that they give you enough combination of midtones, lighter pastels, shimmers, and richer colors to kind of give your eye some definition. I actually really do like this palette. And I like this type of look. It's a little bit more of a subtle daytime look. The first look I did with these kind of cool tone purplies down here, Love that. I will absolutely be recreating that again. I think that there's enough in here that you ask the question. You don't ask the question. Maybe you don't. I ask the question. Can I get several looks in the same palette? Does it fit with my lifestyle? And does that make it a good value? I'm cleaning some of my fingerprints off of the packaging right now. I can tell you that for me, I have a need to have kind of a work appropriate look or even a work from home look where I'm maybe on camera, either video conferencing or I'm filming for work. I like doing kind of a little bit of a lighter, everyday easy breezy look for just regular daytime. Some of these pinks, like this one right here, is pretty vibrant. You've got more of a apricot color and more of a bright mauve color. You've got the colors to ground it too, but I think you can go either way, and that's really fun for me. And then I think you've got the shades that you can go really deep, dark, rich, smoky, hence the smoke and roses part. This particular look is not either rosy nor is it smoky. It's just neutral. And when you first look at this, you might not realize you've got these neutral shades down here. Completely appropriate. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys some way or another. I hope it can maybe even give you some idea. That second look that I did, I might have to play around with that concept a little bit more because I don't know that I quite delivered it the way I wanted to, but I got it done, I got it across. It just wasn't a look that I felt particularly pretty in, and I think that's kind of what we're all trying to go for is, can we do something that makes us feel pretty without feeling like we're trying? I think maybe I was trying too hard. So we don't always do things perfectly here. Sometimes we make mistakes, and that's okay too. It's just makeup. It just washes off at the end of the day. I can tell you that larger palette sizes, they're not for everybody, right? They're very economical. You get a good variety, a good selection of choices, but are you going to use all of them? That's up to you. Sometimes people just really love, especially now we're being more minimalistic, more conscientious, more simplistic. Maybe you could get away with doing a 5-pan palette. And then even though this is a good price point, do you find too many redundancies in here? I don't know. I think they probably could have done this in a 9-pan and maybe a couple different varieties of 9-pan, and I might have enjoyed it. Maybe they already have. It's Colourpop. They could have already done that. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well. I hope you guys stick around. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Until my next video. Bye for now.